Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this Monday morning. We always like to start off the week with Panhandle Outdoors to get your week started. Should be a great week outdoors. Should be a little bit drier, hopefully. Our high today is going to be 88 and low tonight 72, and our water temperature remains at 84 degrees. It's been pretty steady there. As always on Monday, we always like to take a look at the Monday moon forecast and what's going on with the moon now. We're looking at today is September the 9th. This Monday right here, the moon is starting to wax up, and so it's starting to build up. We're looking toward a full moon. Looks like our next Friday night on the 20th will be a full moon for that weekend. So this week and next week, the moon will be waxing up. Now, let's take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Cemetery and Funeral Home. Their motto is "When caring counts." A lot of good folks over there and really can take care of you. So run by and see them when in a time of need. Now, looking at our tides today, we're looking at a better situation. We're just getting over these neap tides this past weekend. We're going to start getting some good tides, actually starting today. The high tide was this morning at 12:38, and the low tide was at 10:01. So it could be coming in. It's going to be a low tide at 10:01, and then the rest of the morning and the rest of the afternoon is going to be coming in. So good incoming tide, and I'll go ahead and look for the rest of the weekend. It's going to be a good tide. All right, that's going to take care of our weather. Let's go ahead and take our first break, and we'll be back with our special guest. Welcome back, and welcome to two familiar faces, and I'd say familiar. I didn't say ugly faces. I said familiar faces on this Monday morning. Daniel and Tommy.
Morning, Coach. How you doing?
Morning, Coach. Good to see you this morning.
Bill Kramer boys hadn't had them on in a while. They've been too busy. But first thing we're going to talk about is this weight loss of Tommy Barnes. Tommy, it's amazing the amount of weight you've lost.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to me too, and I still got about 40 pounds to go.
Tell Daniel, you just did this. Maybe it'll show up on the show.
53 pounds.
Yeah.
The boys lost 53 pounds.
Yeah.
So tell us how you did it real quick.
Well, real quick is you work your butt off, literally. But I go to the gym twice a day. You know, it's no secret. Daniel actually got me started over at Healthplex here at Bay Medical Healthplex, and got me in the gym and everything. And he went 3 times with me, and I hadn't seen him in 3 months. But I see him every morning at work, you know, and he asked me how it's going. I said, it's going good.
Yeah.
But I told him when I got to 240, that's where he was at. He said he's going to start back with me. He's just waiting on me to get to my goal so he can jump in there and help me get on down there about 225, you know. But
his goal weight was my weight.
That's right.
I told him, when you get down to 240, I'll meet you.
That's what y'all are doing there.
Yeah. But it's, you know, it's morning. It's of course, it's a different lifestyle eating, but I get to eat a lot of fish. So all them bass fishermen, I'm going to start taking more fish home with me because I'm eating more fish nowadays.
That's good, and I know you're doing it twice a day, so I know that's burnt off a lot. So.
Yeah, I do about 2.5 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, you know.
Well, how do you have time to work?
Well, I'm just glad that we stay open till 9 at Healthplex over there.
Yeah.
Because we stay open till 7 at Bill Kramer's waiting on you folks to come on in, and we want to help you and serve you.
And Daniel, our new baby, and we saw the picture last time. I got to see the baby this week.
Yeah, my wife and I welcomed home a new baby July the 6th, a 7-pound, 4-ounce little girl. So any more of my workout is at between Walmart and Target, infant section, diapers. I do a lot of walking in the baby section. So and the floors at night, my wife and I.
That's his cardio workout, back and forth.
Yes, so we've definitely been busy at our home.
Well, good. I know we've been down there to see you guys, and y'all have been busy. And I just saw on news the other night, actually it was Friday, Thursday night on news, that the car sales in America, car and truck sales especially, across the, you know, with all different brands and all, it just skyrocketed. August was a record-breaking month in America. And I did not know. They said everybody in the country now is buying vehicles, seems like.
Well, right now, I know Chevrolet right now, we're 12% over Ford F-150 and what Fords are selling in the truck market. The new Silverados and the Sierras are just incredible. The technology and the craftsmanship and the warranty they put behind these trucks is just unbelievable.
We sold 210. You know, a lot of people will fluff, you know, put a lot of fluff in there. They'll put units that they really didn't sell out front. They'll put some they sold in the back. We sold that right across the front curb out there at Bill Kramer Chevrolet right here at Frankfort Avenue, 23rd Street. We've probably got one of the biggest inventories anywhere around in the Southeast. And if you can't find it on our lot, you know, man, I wouldn't know what you was looking for, because we got everything from Chevrolet to.
We carry every GM brand that they make.
Buick, Cadillac. We got it all there.
You know, what do you think? You know, for this to make national news it was on NBC News, and for them to talk about it, what do you think the reason so many people are buying this past month of August?
Well,
to me, it's like September is always just a great month. You know, people get back to school, but August is just a record.
One thing that's happening is, I mean, what we know is happening is people that haven't bought a truck since 2005. It's 2013 now, and that old pickup truck needs to be replaced. Especially if it's a work truck, construction truck, or a family vehicle. You know, they're still going, but a lot of people have money now they want to spend. That's a good sign the economy's coming back. You know, anytime the car market goes back up, the economy usually is right behind it. And a lot of people will tell you the car market kind of fuels the economy. So it's all on the up and up.
Another thing is that, you know, when you're looking for, if you've been waiting on getting a pre-owned, a lot of those folks, you know, most families have got two vehicles at least. You know, a lot of people have got 3 vehicles, but they fixed and repaired those vehicles and took care of them, and now they feel more comfortable about the direction the country may be going, and they're spending that little bit of money, and we're getting some good trade-ins. They've taken good care of those trade-ins, and they're on our lot down there ready to go.
I got tickled. I went by the other afternoon to see you, and they said you were going to Carabel to deliver one. You sold one all the way down to Carabel, just sold it word of mouth.
That's right. Brother Lee down there, old Joe Lee's brother, he called me up Saturday and sold it to him over the telephone, and he said, just bring it on down here, and if we like it, we're going to take it. So
I had one the day before at Apalachicola.
Sure
did.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So we want to say a big shout out to all the folks down there in Carabel, and we appreciate y'all's business.
Jeff Galloway and Carla, and we appreciate y'all. And what's amazing is the word of mouth, like you said, that people hear about us through this show. You know, people come in the office and say, "Hey, I've seen you two on television."
Hey,
so
Joe,
this show's been great
you
for
know
us.
Joe Lee, brother Joe from here in Panhandle, Robert Lee, his brother down there, and I want to say a big shout out to Miss Dot, because his wife was the one that I had to sell her on that truck, and she runs the golf course down there. So, and I understand that thing is beautiful down there in Carabel, got condos on it, everything. So, a big shout out to them, and. If you ever down there, Carabel, I know you got some friends down there.
We have a lot of view. Percentage-wise, a bunch of folks. I bet 70-80% of people in Carabel watch Panhandle Outdoors.
That New River and that place right there, I'm telling you, it's a fisherman's paradise down there. And it's been years since I've been down there, but Joe Robert took me around there and showed me some spots, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Well, I tell people, you know, Carabel is the last really true fishing village in Florida, and that whole area down there is just natural. It hasn't been spoiled with condos and all. And you can go down there. You saw that.
Yeah,
it was gorgeous. And see nature at its best. Your daddy knows the same thing.
Yeah, Dad, he's all about peaceful and going away, get away from everybody. He loves that kind of stuff.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll be right back. We'll talk about some fishing stuff Tom has been catching these fish on. Okay, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Got a big show going on with the two guys on Bill Kramer Chevrolet and Buick, Cadillac, and everything else.
Yes, sir. Everything else, we got it.
Everything.
And but we're going to talk a little bit about fishing now. These guys every now and then get to do some fishing and all. And Tommy enters a lot of these tournaments and all. Tommy, we were talking about line. The other day I was in the office. We were just talking about fishing and how important line was. And a lot of times we just forget about the line.
You know, we got all the plugs and everything, and we spend thousands and thousands of dollars on boats and motors and everything. And the thing about it is, if you don't have a good line, because that's what ties you to the fish. You know, I mean, if you haven't got a good line, it don't matter how big the fish is or how well you've got him hooked. If that line won't hold him, you know, and you get some of these 5, 6, 7 pound river bass down there, and there's still a bunch of them in our river system down there. Don't ever kid yourself. You can't hold them. They'll get around a stump or get around a log or something, and you got to be able to hold that fish tight enough and let him work his way out. I know when I'm flipping 25 and 30 pound test line in that river, because sometimes you're going to hook the fish and you're just going to hold him. You feel him, but you got to wait for him to work his way out of that stuff and bring him on out. And if you don't have a good quality line, and I use trilene, I mean, it's, a lot of people use string and everything, but I like trilene. I use fluorocarbon a lot of times when I'm flipping Seminole up there, a braid or anything like that. And I use the extra smooth casting 17 pound for the river when I'm throwing spinner bait or Lake Wimico. Then I'll go to big game. I use 20 pound big game. But that line is the most important thing between your rod and that fish.
How many rod and reels do you have on your boat when you're out there fishing?
Golly, it's hard to count them,
You got a couple.
Yeah, they's probably 25, no less than 25 or 30 in the box. But you'll pull out, 6 or 8. It's kind of funny. Used to have, 20, 10 on one side, 10 on the other. But that's just a good sign that you really don't know what they're going to bite. So when a fella pulls over the tournament, he's only got one rod and reel laying up on the deck, you pretty well know that he's dialed in on it. He knows what they're going to be hitting when he gets there.
And that reminds me, too, we're talking about, I had Alan Courtney on the other day, how these guys come in and pre-fish and scout out. It could be a redfish tournament or bass fish tournament, but they scout it out 2 or 3 days ahead of time.
Absolutely.
I always tell a funny story. I tried to get into the bass fishing one time, bought a nice boat and motor, and didn't know what I was doing. I caught maybe 5 fish on that 100-mile-an-hour blazer I had, but I went with a fella one time, and he had every temperature, wind, direction, what he fished with that day for the last 20 years. But that's how detailed these guys are, which is amazing to me.
Yeah.
Talking about the redfish and everything, I heard the other day somebody came in and said that West Bay was just lit up with redfish up there. Nice redfish and trout. They were really catching them up there.
It has been. I've showed a bunch of pictures of redfish being caught, even in with water like it is and rain like it is. Folks are still catching some nice redfish.
Now I want to say a big shout out to Fred Myers out there this morning. He's one of the best redfishmen around here. I mean, and him and I think it was Drew Benton fished the tournament the other day, and I think they won it. And Drew's done real good, and Drew's a local boy here that's made good with FLW and BASS, and made his big check down at Okeechobee. You've had him on the show and everything, but they were red fishing, and I think they won the tournament the other day. So he's one of our customers, and him and his wife.
They're good. Let's take a look at some of these plugs. We're talking about fishing with some of the different plugs, some of the colors and all. What do we have here, Tommy?
This is a Bandit. It's a Bandit bait. You can buy it locally here in town, or you can buy it at Blue Water Outrigger down in St. Joe. I know they've got a good selection of those baits. That's being a Bandit. It's a smaller crankbait. It doesn't run quite as deep as as some of the other ones. It'll run 6 to 8 foot depending on what size line you're pulling. I like to fish this in the canal around Wimico. Depot Creek, places like that. That is more of a crawfish, color. I like it in a little bit clear water, I've got the Big O here. This is an old plug that my dad got me started fishing this one right here, the old Big O.
Big O. And that's been around a while.
Yeah, that's been around a long time. I like this plug in dead lakes. I catch a lot of fish on it in dead lakes It's a shallow bill, shallow running plug and everything. Of course, this time of the year, around grass, the old frog. You can't hardly beat that. And you can just put about a 3 or 4 hook in that thing. You don't even have to have a lead on it. You just throw it out there and just reel it. It's going the tail on this thing. The legs are going to paddle almost like a buzz bait. It's going to make a little bit of noise, ripple coming across the water, and boy, the strikes are ferocious.
Well, we're in a late summer pattern and early fall pattern this time of year, and that's sort of what the transition is going to. We're going to have a little bit cooler water coming in.
Anytime you see me fishing, you're going to see that plug right there tied on a rod and reel laying on the top deck. That's the old Bangalore.
Yep.
Old Bagley's Bangalore. And that color right there is probably one of the best. If I'm not throwing that, I'm going to throw the black and silver or the Tennessee shad color. But I'll promise you, I've caught some of the biggest bass I've ever caught, 8, 9, 10 pounders on this plug right here, especially in Deer Point, late in the evening, right at sundown. I mean, just, it's almost dark. I was fishing a tournament up there one year, back several years ago, and I had about a 7.5 pounder come up and inhale that thing. And for big bass, late in the evening, that's the way to go. That Bangalore is top notch.
I was thinking that'd be really good Lake Seminole too.
It will be. It is good. Matter of fact, I've caught some fish on it in Little Dothan. Me and another boy. We finished in a tournament up there one year with a Bangalore, and we caught them at about 1:30 in the afternoon with a weigh-in at 3. We ran back to the spot, and he happened to throw that Bangalore out there. It was on some bedding fish, and for some reason they just, and we culled all of our fish in the next hour on a Bangalore, and we weighed in like 27 pounds, which is not much in Seminole. Sometimes you won't even get a check with 27 pounds in Seminole.
That's a good stringer, though.
It is a big string.
And
good
you
string.
brought up something right there. Is a good tip. You know, a lot of times it weighs at 3 o'clock or something. It's so important to fish to the last minute. I mean,
absolutely.
Really,
never give up. Don't go in early and
don't go in early.
That one fish could make the difference.
Well, the only exception, if you're in a king mackerel tournament and you have about a 42 or 45 pounder, you won't go and take it.
That's right.
That's right.
We've done that.
That's right.
But because you can ice it down and keep it on. But that's some good tips right there. Let's take our final break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Today we're Daniel and Tommy from Bill Kramer Chevrolet. Some good outdoorsmen in their own right. And y'all get it honest, don't you? From your dad's helped a lot over the years, didn't he?
Absolutely. When I grew up as a kid, you didn't play inside. You went outside and played, and they taught you to fish, and you hunted. That's what you did.
That's right.
And I know y'all are doing the same with your kids. That's the thing we do here in Panhandle, the traditions we have. Let's take a look now at our fishing game forecast brought to us by Mark Calvert, Realty, here with our times today. Mark is really good about this. Edgewater Beach Realty, where he works, and 832-6000 is his number. But our times were this morning, 3:35 to 5:35. We're just rolling off of it. But now look at this afternoon. You're looking at 4:01 to 6:01 this afternoon. Now, you guys think Jackson will let y'all off? Maybe run down to the Bayside or something?
We take a long lunch.
That's right.
Well, listen, we were talking about you got a new four-wheeler now.
I did. I drove to Marietta, Georgia Saturday night and drove all the way back. I bought a Can-Am 1000 MR. And if you've never seen one of these machines, they're unbelievable. Tommy saw it. It looks like a
Only thing we need to do that thing, Coach, we need to get us some paint. You need to come up here and we'll camouflage it for him.
Okay, we can do that.
We'll put him a real tree or mossy oak camo package on that thing.
Right after we do your Tahoe.
That's right.
And speaking of outdoor stuff and all, we just talked about it during the break. Mosquitoes are awful this time.
Boy.
I mean, all the water and all. And
well, all this rain, everything we've had, all the water standing out there. Matter of fact, the fella came by the other day and was telling me that even behind in the rows of the pine trees where they cruise timber, said water's just standing, so you got to be careful. Snakes, we're still pretty hot out there and everything. We hadn't gotten snakes is crawling.
Blair Morgan talked about down at Cape San Blas, all that sand down there, water actually was standing, and right down below your dad's house.
Yeah, Dad's yard's been flooded for the last week.
And he's right on the bay.
Yeah, sure.
Well, what's he saying about the scallops?
The scallops, the scallops have been a weird deal this year. I've never seen them move as much as they did this year from one spot to the other. I've had several opportunities to go this year with my dad, and we done very well up in the head of the bay, which is up in those shallow flats. And you got to be real careful when you're running up there. You don't want to chew up the bottom, of course.
Yes.
You want to try to pole in there if you can. But the scallops are nice size. And what I think they were was last year's scallops. Some of them.
Yeah.
My dad calls them mini pearls, and the mini pearls, he talks about the big scallop with all the stuff hanging off of them, kind of like Mini Pearl's hat.
Yeah.
But they were very plentiful. Had a good time getting them.
Well, it's funny, like I say, it was weird this year because I got such mixed reports. Some people just had trouble finding them at times, and other people really did well.
The 2 or 3 times I went, we got into them. They were just all you.
Another thing, Daniel, and I know we eat a lot of seafood here. I mean, we've got some great restaurants and everything, Kenny and all them out at Boondocks and different restaurants here in town. But if you're not careful, you can get some bad seafood. When you eat a scallop from St. Joe Bay, that's the premier scallop of the world.
That's true.
And you think about that. You can tell them old bag scallops that you'll see some of these outfitters that sell these big bags of scallops and everything, and they're not St. Joe Bay. They want to, they may not say it, but they want to imply that, oh, these are local scallops. Well, they're locally sold, but there's a big difference in a fresh scallop.
A lot of times you forget about the availability of fresh seafood that we have here. We take it for granted.
Yeah.
This is really a unique.
But the taste is, the taste is just.
Well, you're talking about it being such a unique
world.
year. On the average, and I keep up with my scallop trips over the year, and I have a place down there, so I'm fortunate that I can go a lot, and I normally go about 11 times a year. But this year, with the rain and the schedule, I would seem like every time I went down there, the rain just followed me. If I left Bay County, I look behind me, here comes that cloud. Y'all, to date, I've gone scalloping 2 times this year, and it's been really disappointing. And I like to go to family and all that. We just haven't had a chance to get it done. And I've become paranoid with lightning too. I see a cloud out in the distance, I just start winding down.
Just go ahead and go.
Yeah, lightning's not something
your dad
you
and I
play
were talking
with.
about that the other day.
It's not forgiving.
So, well, listen. Tell folks now again. The cars and trucks are just selling great.
Absolutely.
The cars, and
Record month this past month. No.
If you can hear my voice, come see us. Let us show you one of these new trucks. I'm not pressuring you to buy one. Just come look at one. Come drive a new Silverado.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
And the other day we bought Miss Gail a nice Tahoe.
Yes, we did.
Absolutely.
She is crazy about it. She loves it.
We did.
That was a fine ride, boy. That is the color is a unique color. We call it a rosewood, and some people call them brown, but it's really got that rose tint to it, and which we just don't get that color very often. So, coaches, you're gonna see it around town.
Well, I tried to put some rod and reels in it last night, but she wouldn't let me do it. So I don't know how we're gonna handle it.
Well, we got your trailer hitch on there. We snuck that in there.
Well, I know we did. All right, well, fellas, we're going to start wrapping things up. As always, I appreciate y'all coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
So much.
It's always a pleasure.
And,
always a pleasure to
and
be here.
Bill Kramer Chevrolet is a big sponsor of Panhandle Outdoors, and I ask you folks to go down and just talk to these guys. You don't have to buy a truck or car, just run there and visit with them.
Just come see us.
Come see us.
Do something good for somebody today, folks. You have a great Monday, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.